It's a gorgeous day in Sauk County, Wisconsin, and today we're at Mirror Lake State Park. Mirror Lake is technically the oldest man-made lake in the state of Wisconsin when the dam was built on Dell Creek in 1860. I wouldn't say Mirror Lake is a secret or a hidden gem, but it's definitely overshadowed by the popularity of nearby Devil's Lake State Park. Mirror Lake is only a 139-acre lake. But one of the gems about Mirror Lake is its accessibility is top-notch compared to some of the other state parks in the area. This ADA fishing pier here was erected in 1987 when there were a lot fewer options for people with mobility issues. In addition to the fishing pier, Mirror Lake also has an adaptive kayak for rent and an ADA cabin available. As you can see behind me here, Mirror Lake has plenty of kayaks and paddleboards for rent, canoes. They also have a couple of pontoon boats here available for rent. One of the things I like about Mirror Lake is that on a windy day, this is the place to be. The bluffs are only about 50 feet tall, but you are absolutely protected from the wind on this reservoir. This is pretty typical of what you find for a rental boat. It's kind of a one-size-fits-all. It's got a huge cockpit. I mean, you could fit any size person, even an adult and a child, in one of these things. So my opinions on rental boats are this. I feel like a one-size-fits-all rental boat is not going to give you the best paddling experience. If you're going to be in it for an hour or two, just kind of noodling around, it's going to be fine, but don't think you're going to sit in a rental for 6 hours and be comfortable. This fleet of blue boats behind me, those monstrosities are the rental tandem kayaks available here at Mirror Lake. Now, I think there's a percentage of people that would benefit from tandem kayaking. If you're paddling with a child, someone with a disability, limited vision, then I think they're great. As far as me getting a tandem boat with another able-bodied adult, not my cup of tea. So the entire lake is a no-wake zone. Now they do allow gas-powered engines here, unlike Devil's Lake. However, with it being so small and all a no-wake zone, I honestly don't even understand why people launch boats on this lake. So it's no surprise that Mirror Lake is the destination of choice for people with mobility issues. I've paddled with a group of folks in that situation here, and when you already have some challenges getting out on the water, you really don't want to have to worry about some of those additional risk factors. Holy cow! Sandhill cranes! I did not even see them. I snuck right up on them. Anyway, as I was saying, when it's tough for you to get out in the water anyway because you've got different challenges, you don't really need to have to worry about some of those other risk factors like the wind and the wakes of speedboats going past. Even when it's really clear and not such an algae time of year, there's a lot of tannins in this lake, and it's clean, but it's very brown. I have a hard time calling Mirror Lake man-made because humans did not carve a gorge over the course of 10,000 years into sandstone. That would be the result of a glacier. Indirectly from a glacier, I should say. It's from the outwash when the glacier melted. Looks like we're sneaking up on some more sandhill cranes here. Aw, look at the nice little couple. Well, they look like a couple and they definitely have an egg. So I'm not going to be a jerk and get any closer because I don't think they're aggressive birds, but you know what? Those beaks are pointy and I like my eyesight just the way it is. So I'm going to get out of here. Looks like it's Dad's turn to watch the kids. I'm way zoomed in here, so I'm really not being a big jerk here. I am respecting their space. I'm just zoomed in as far as I can. He'd be telling me about it if he wasn't happy with my distance. Seems a rather odd place to have a nest. I mean, that's such a vulnerable spot. Well, maybe they're new at this. Maybe this is their first time nest owners. Let's see what other wildlife we can bother today. Those sandhill cranes know what they're doing. Nobody's going to bother them there. Ugh, it's totally disgusting right here. Ooh, not flying so well, fella. Is it an egret? I don't know, maybe it's not an egret. I don't really know my waterfowl as well as you think I would for as much time as I spend on the water. Omelet, anyone? I have some fresh eggs here. They're definitely goose eggs. I saw a goose sitting on this mound until I spooked him. So I'm gonna get out of here. I don't want to cause him any more stress. This is a great spot to hike, right up here. I've got my athletic sandals on today instead of my cute sandals. Just for that reason, maybe I'll get out and hike a little bit. This is really pretty. Last time I hiked here, I saw more varieties of mushrooms than I've ever seen in my life. I can't identify mushrooms for crap. Not really any desire to, because I'm never going to eat them. I think they taste like dirt. But let me show you what we're looking at right here. This little cove. If I can get out of my boat here, and it is absolute slop, but if I can get out of my boat here, there's a trail that goes up to that bluff. And it's really pretty. If I could get a morning start to this really, really sloppy cove, I can get out and hike. But it's so disgusting. I don't want to sink my feet. I'll give it a go. If I can hike here, great. If not, we'll just be moving on. Okay, here goes, full speed ahead. Success. I didn't even get my feet wet. I don't think I'm going to stay here real long because it is extremely buggy here. But let's hike a little bit. I'm up at the top. This rock here, right in front of me, that sort of looks like a butt, is the bluff that we were looking at down below. If I peeked over there, you could see about 50 feet down is my boat. But I'm not getting that close. I'm already on the other side of the rail. That's about the extent of my hiking. I'm not a real big fan of hiking. My knees suck. But fortunately, I just got cortisone injections in both my knees yesterday, so I have a little bit in me, but not a lot. I'm also getting eaten alive up here. So, time to get back to the boat. We've got more of Mirror Lake to see. Made it back in the boat with dry feet, and I managed to stay upright for the whole hike, so I'd say that was a success. Well, I guess it was a success getting into the boat dry. However, I forgot to put up the rudder when I slammed the shore, and then when I shoved off backwards, it got all kinds of stuck in the muck, and I could pull it up, but it got kind of jammed up, and now I can't put it down, so I'm going to have to go back to the main launch sans rudder. But I'll just hop out real quick on the dock and fix it. I can't quite push it with my feet and I don't want to force it. So, not a big hardship, just gonna paddle back. Oops, no watercraft or fishing in swim area. Now before we get to the dam, on our right we have the iconic Ishnala Supper Club. Beautiful views of Mirror Lake from the restaurant and bar. Probably even hear the music. It is very typical Wisconsin supper club as far as atmosphere. Ishnala, which was once very sacred land to the Winnebago, was purchased in 1826 for private residence. So there was a log cabin there for a couple of generations, and it's been the supper club since 1953. Interestingly enough, the current owner of Ishnala started there as a busboy in 1973. Ishnala's atmosphere is about what you would expect for a very typical Wisconsin supper club. It looks like somewhere your grandpa would go and have old fashions. But the food is very good. The bridge we're approaching is I-90-94. Kind of a different vantage point. Hear the dam up ahead. Now if I had more hours in the day, I'd love to portage across the dam into Dell Creek, put in there, and continue on to Lake Delton. But this terrain is looking like not something I'd want to drag my boat up anyhow. But I will come back and paddle Lake Delton and Dell Creek at another point in time. Now that looks like a great place to pull in and hike. It looks a lot less sloppy than where I hiked. But it's getting to be about 6 o'clock or so. I mean, I've got plenty of daylight left. However, based on my experience in my last brief hike, I will absolutely get eaten alive. I didn't bring any bug spray with me. I don't get to Mirror Lake with much frequency, but I think paddling here today was kind of a reminder that I should try to get here more often. I think the scenery and the wildlife definitely rivals the upper dells, and the fact that it's not as visited as nearby Devil's Lake State Park is a real attractive feature for me. The bluffs here aren't near as high as the upper dells, but I think trading that for the safety factors of no current, and I absolutely love the fact that the whole waterway is a no-wake zone. That's really attractive to me and all of the paddlers. So I will be back to Mirror Lake sooner rather than later.